What's up, guys? It's man here. Welcome to the Diablo Research Institution. I appreciate you guys for coming by. Like this video if you will. Subscribe to the page and the bell so you're notified next time I post a video. And blessings to my channel members and patrons. May the Creator bless you and keep you. So, what I have in this video is an assassin. A trapsin. Now, I haven't even tested it yet, but I have her relatively decked out. And I have several other build variations that I would like to try in the Research Institution. Now, one of the problems is the assassin used to be one of my favorite characters to play. I remember years before Diablo 2 Resurrected came out, I had a godly trapsin. Granted, she didn't reach the fullest extent of her potential. I don't think I even had an Enigma on her. But I'd use Death Sentry and Lightning Sentry and just popping corpses all over the frickin' place. I remember like the entire screen just blowing up in the pit. It was awesome. It was very gratifying. But yeah, I kind of found it to be a downer the fact that they made her, I guess, ugly as fuck in Diablo 2 Resurrected. Like, she used to have a good aesthetic. Nice and nimble and quick. But they just, like, turned her into a guy or something. And, like, really, I found that unappealing. I mean, we're staring at these characters the whole time we're playing. They're the center of the screen. So I just like to have visually appealing characters. And the fact that they totally butchered this bitch set me off a little bit. So I really haven't been playing her, I guess, much at all. But let me know what your thoughts are on those matters in the comments below. I know they did a similar thing to the Amazon and to some extent the Sorceress even. But yeah, I'm just curious what you guys have to say about that. But nonetheless, I haven't tried an assassin in quite some time. But check this out. What I have on this Vayman is one of the most godly freaking claws I've ever seen in Diablo 2, alright? I made this shit. And if you were to find something like this, or gamble for it, you're a lucky fat little toad, because it is so damn rare to attain the cunning, greater talons of quickness. Especially one that has an additional mod on it, like a skill that you like. Because, of course, claws, they can generate random skills in hell. And runic talons and feral claws are the best to have on your character, basically, because they have a very fast attack speed at their base. I'm not entirely sure if they're exceptional versions, which would be, in this case, greater talons for the runic talons. I don't know what the ones are called for the feral talents, but runic talents are the best. So these are greater talents, which are an exceptional version. Of course, they do less damage, but when you're not swinging them, it doesn't matter anyway. Or you're not hitting shit with the claw. This is a trap build, as mentioned. If you're a Kicksin, it still wouldn't apply, actually. Only the added damage from items like Grief would apply to your kick, but the actual weapon damage in itself doesn't apply to your kicks. But if you're some weird-ass build that actually hits shit with a claw, then that really matters. But if you're not, it doesn't matter. In some of the mods it does. I think in Path of Diablo, they allowed your weapon damage to apply to your kick in itself, so that was quite nice. But that's just not the case in D2R. So, cunning, greater talents of quickness. Look at these freaking hog of claws. Alright, and I put 2 perfect lightning facets in these things. So the cunning part, what that does is it gives 3 to traps. And the quickness gives 40% increased attack speed. You could also get, there's another one. It's like of speed or something. I don't think it's speed, but it's something else. And it gives 30% IES. There's probably one that gives 20%. But the quickness is the best, to my understanding, it gives 40%. Now you could get a rare claw, but you're not going to get +6 to Lightning Sentry with a rare claw. Because I don't think those can roll +3 traps. They can roll like 2 to all skills, which would be very nice. But this is the best way to get the most points into a singular skill. In which case, this is Lightning Sentry, because 3 traps add to Lightning Sentry as well, so you get +6 to Lightning Sentry with these claws. Because it happened to roll with Lightning Sentry, or that's how I made it anyway. So this thing is a godly claw. And I'm curious to see how well this performs. Because this character isn't entirely decked out. As you can see here, I don't have any charms here. I don't have any skill charms, trap charms. But before I get into it too much, let's just go kill some shit and I'll show you the rest of the gear. So she runs fast as a freaking toad, as you can see, because of the fact she's wearing Enigma with 45 faster run walk and Older's boots, which I really like, but I know there's other boots that people like to wear. They like to wear war trabs that toads like to wear, I should say. They like to wear war trabs or shit like that, but I mean, I hate letting those damage mods go to waste on war trabs and just wear them because they have the MF. I don't care that much about potentially 50 MF to just totally lose out on a nice boot slot. These have faster run walk than war trabs. They have 40% faster run walk. They have 50 to life. They have up to 50 fire res and a very nice mod where damage taken goes back to mana, 10%. So I just love these boots. But check this out. Here's without burst of speed, and then with burst of speed, check it out how fast she runs, or how fast they run, I should say. So now let me go to the Frigid Highlands, and I'm going to utilize my Lightning Sentry skill, a trap that shoots lightning to scorch passing enemies. In which case, this one can shoot 10 times, is how often it can shoot, I think from the get-go. I can't recall how many you can have out at once. I think you can have 5 traps out at once. We're about to find out. 1 to 9,901 damage. So quite a range there, but a lot of damage. And then I'm going to be using, what I usually do, in the past anyway, I would cast like 3 or 4 Lightning Sentries, and then I'd cast 1 or 2 Death Sentries, because you don't need too many of these. Of course, their lightning damage in itself is kind of ass. It's only 1 to 3,000, but their benefit is, of course, their corpse explosion, and they'll shoot that 5 times. In fact, you can increase that, I believe, every couple points, every 3 levels of Fire Blast, you can increase that, but they have to be base points. So let's see what it does here. There's 5 times. Here's 1, 2, 3. There might have already been 1 in there. So 6, maybe 2 more. We'll get it to 7 times. So that's going to be a hog. And it's like a corpse explosion. It's not the 80 to 120% of corpse life that corpse explosion is. Rather, it's 40 to 80%, so it's not as good as the Necromancer's corpse explosion, but it's still pretty damn good, especially at lower player counts. So, first off, maybe I should see how well this performs in the pit. And I do have Infinity or Insight on my Mercenary instead of Infinity. So I just love having the mana pool, but I will test it out. However, here let's just cast a couple Death Sentries because they have low HP. Okay, that's not bad. That wasn't bad. When they're cluttered, it's really helpful. Let me cast a couple more regular Lightning Sentries. Okay, that's not that bad. Okay, so the pit. And another thing about the Assassin, what I really like with D2R at least, is the fact that they now have the quick cast thing. Because the Assassin back in the day, it was kind of annoying cycling through a bunch of skills when you had to hit F1, then right click, or F2, and then right click, or F3, and then right click. It wasn't just a quick cast skill like how it is now, if you set it that way, because you have a lot of skills. So it just makes it easier now to sort of play the keyboard manner that it might require as an assassin or a character that likes to use a lot of skills. Oh my god! Another unique that they should probably improve a little bit. Alright, let's see how well this does now. A couple Death Sentries. Oh my god! It obliterate shit! Holy toad! Okay, here's my healing from the Mercenary's Prayer. So that's pretty good. Yeah, his gear is an Insight and a Cryptic Axe with 17 Meditation, an Ethereal, Archon Plate, Treachery, and I decided to put a Vamp Gaze on him for style points, and it's actually Ethereal as well, and it has an rune in it. Just to top off his res, or get him higher anyway, before his Fade kicks in. Obviously, there'd be better in-slot gear. Like, if you wanted to go vamp guys, you'd put a 15 all-res, 15 increased attack speed jewel in there, for instance. But I'm not really totally maxing out this character, but I have other things in the stash that I'd really like to try. Like a Griffin's Eye, for example. And that's another thing that they've done with D2R is now piercing, like enemy-resistant piercing, actually applies to your traps, which it used to not be the case. So Griffin's Eye would be it'd be far less useful for a Trapsin. Because the whole negative whatever to enemy lightning res wouldn't even work, and that just really, really sucked. So it's sort of, so yeah, they're better now, which is amazing, because they're already pretty good. Look at that, how it just pops the screen. Kind of a complete ass scythe. With this thing, I think what they should do is like what they did in Project Diablo 2, where it gives like +5 or 6 to skeletal mages, and it lets you raise more skeletal mages. You can have like +7 skeleton mages out at once or something. And of course, skeletal mages suck big you-know-what, so it's not like it's going to make you overpowered at all. In fact, it's barely even going to help. But still, it's something cool, you know, and they did buff up skeletal mages in Project Diablo 2 to their credit. So it's actually useful in that mod. So in D2R, you know, I just wish these devs would maybe take some notes from the guys who are basically doing it for free and on their mods, and just, you know, just make some of this shit a bit more viable. But I'm curious, what do you guys think should happen with Grimm's Burning Dead, for example, or other uniques in this game? All right, so perhaps more importantly, I'm curious to see how this performs in the Chaos Sanctuary. Oh my god. Look at the destruction. I love it how it just pops the shit out of everything. Look at this. Yeah, this is how I remember it. It's just so godly. So yeah, I will try this with like a Griffin's Eye and probably a Phoenix just for the redemption, and an Infinity on the Mercenary. Things like that I'm going to try out, and perhaps other claws. But yeah, this thing is just a hog of a claw. So godly. But the other gear that I have Mage Fist. Pretty much for the faster cast rate for teleport. Because I just like to be able to teleport a little faster. Your trap laying is actually based on increased attack speed and not your cast rate. So that's a very important thing to factor in. And it also is going to factor in your weapon base attack speed, as mentioned, which is why Greater Talons are a great choice, or Runic Talons even for that matter. But then I have Raven Frost, just because once them cannot be frozen, I didn't feel like putting a charm somewhere. Arak for the FCR, for teleport. The Wonderwall skills is quite nice. Dwarf Star for protective purposes. Already showed you the boots. Enigma for those obvious reasons. Shaco with a perfect lightning facet in it. A near perfect Maras. You could get a 3-trap amulet, which I'd like to try out as well. I would like to max this character out quite a bit, so I'm going to fill the inventory with trap charms and see how well they perform. So yeah, we'll give that a shot. And then I do have Bartux. I wanted to put something shitty in the offhand, basically. And this is what I came up with. But for budget purposes, really, Bartux are great. And you could put one in each hand, and then you can have 4 to assassin skills right there, and then you can even block with them because of the nice skill that you get, which is weapon block. And I only have 1 point into this, and it's already a 54% chance to block. But yeah, I did max out Lightning Sentry and its 2 synergies, and Death Sentry, I maxed that out, and I did not max out, however, the Fire Blast to make it shoot more times. But maybe that wouldn't be a bad idea to put a few more points into that. Now it can shoot 8 times. So let's see how well this fares now in the Frigid Highlands. Here's the Cloak of Shadow. Just a godly skill. Look at that. It puts a little smoke above their heads, and then they just attack each other. It's just amazing. Yeah, the Assassin has quite an arsenal of skills, which is why I liked her. Because you're not just like using 2 skills, you know. You actually have a couple more things you can do, which is a bit unusual for Diablo 2. As crazy as that is, it's a great game. We all love this game, but I mean, a lot of the endgame builds, you're just using a couple skills. But the Assassin is one of them where you can kind of mess around with your arsenal and You can do Cloak of Shadows here and there. Oh, you can have your Shadow Master out to mix things up. This is just so chill. Like, I've been using the Nova Sorceress here. I'll do Cloak of Shadows again. They're barely even attacking me. Oh my god. Pretty shitty against these Stormcasters. The damage, because they are innately lightning immune. And I have that Sunder Charm on, but when it breaks that, they're still 95% resistant to the element that it's broke. That it broke. But what you have is then your pure supplies, and I have negative 15 to enemy lightning res on this character right now. So yeah, I would like to try the other thing that I mentioned, the Griffin's Eye, and a couple other item pieces. Yeah, how well is it actually doing against these guys? Like, here's one right here. I couldn't quite tell. That's where the problems are going to be. The ones who are innately lightning immune. And that's where Griffins is really going to shine. As well as having an Infinity on your Mercenary, for example. Well, shit, I wonder how well the Assassin would do with an Infinity on her main hand. I mean, I really don't want to try that, because your claws... I mean, if you get 2 of these, that's plus 12 to Lightning Sentry. Just how godly that would be. And the fact that you can still put facets in it, so it does add some pierce. Come on, buddy. Oh my god, it's a little slow. We might have to try an Infinity on this Vayman. Yeah, definitely might have to try an Infinity on the Mercenary. I'm gonna have a little bit of mana issue. I mean, I could put on Phoenix. I'm thinking in my next video I might try that. I might do the same run here, because we're kind of getting a feel of how it is. It's not going as quickly as I would think. Previous to trying to research all this bullshit. But what are your thoughts on it so far? What changes should I make to this build? I mean, really, I'd like to try a fire one as well, but I know the fire ones are ass, unfortunately. But I would like to try the fire assassin, the wake of fire and all that. All right, so 4 lightning sentries and then 1 death sentry in the middle, basically. Oh my god, this is hideous. What is the player level? It's only players 1. Oh my god. Yeah, this has some work to be done. Another big deal that I think would be great to try on this character, and I will in a future video, is Plague. With how they added that. Ooh, look at that. There's runic talents right there. Nothing on it, unfortunately. Nothing on this one either. It's important to pick up those claws in hell to see what they roll. Whether they're magic, because of course you could get something like this, or whether they're plain, because then you can make Plague in it. Which is a new thing for D2R. At least they brought back that rune word that was never used in the release of the game. Because that's a great one to make in a claw. You get Cleansing Aura, you get potentially 2 dual skills, and of course whatever the base rolled on it. And it's just a very nice, very, very cute little claw. And another thing in terms of your arsenal skills, you can also use Fade if you want. So there's a Fade right there, but my resist still kind of suck. But they'll have to do. A Balrog blade. Those are nice, and you find the material in 4 sockets. Or whatever the hell they make that out of. Oath, or potentially a 3-socketed one for Lawbringer for your Act 5 Mercenary. If you want to go as far as use one of those. In Project Diablo 2, those are godly because they have auras, but unfortunately they do not in D2R. Alright, so here's mostly just my lightning traps. Got my little shadow spawn working at them right there. Oh, look at that! But yeah, I'm going to try a lot of variations, like Headhunter's Glory, for example, with lightning facets in it. I think would be really interesting, and just its style points build. But let me know what you think about this build so far. What changes should I make to it? What's your opinion on that? Appreciate you guys. Again, if you would like this video, and thank you to my patrons and channel members. Some of you guys have been around for a long freaking time. So you guys really incentivized me to keep making videos, and it has been a good time. Been doing this for a while. So yeah, blessings to you guys who are my supporters on Patreon, and the channel member thing. May your contributions be brought back to you sevenfold, and may you have many wives. So I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace be with you.